Hey Hatchlings, it's DragonFeather and welcome back to the channel, and on today's video I'm going to be doing the What's Your Craft tag. I was tagged to do this by Ashley Adulting on YouTube and Ashley Michelle on Amino, and this is a tag that she made with one of her friends, and I'm super excited to do this tag. And before we get started, I wanted to mention the people who I want to tag for this, and I tag Akasha Wolf, Harmony Nice, and the White Witch Parlour, or Jenna from the White Witch Parlour, to do this tag as well. And of course, if you are a hatchling at all out there, then I tag you to do it too. And you might be like, but DragonFeather, that's a cop-out. You can't just tag all your viewers, everybody does that to just not avoid diminishment. Well, hey guys. So, just so you know, we can never have enough witches creating content on the internet, so that's why I tag all the hatchlings. The first question is, how did you first know you were a witch? Well, I've been practicing witchcraft ever since I was a child, although when I was a kid I didn't really know it was witchcraft. I would make these things that I would call potions, and I was just naturally in tune with the mythical world, and I had a very magical outlook on life. When I started actively and consciously practicing magic, I was around 13 to 14 years old, and ever since then I have been a hardcore witch for sure. Question number 2 is, how long have you been practicing? And I have been practicing, like I said, since I was a child, but I was consciously practicing since the age of 14 when I started my channel. I started practicing a little bit before I started the channel here, and my YouTube channel was kind of like my book of shadows to document that. I am now currently 22, so whatever the math is between that, I think that's like 8 years. Yeah, I think that's 8 years. If I'm wrong, let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's 8 years. Question number 3 is, what kind of witch are you? The type of witch that I am is a draconic witch, although my practice is very eclectic in nature. I don't just work on the draconic path or with dragons exclusively. I pretty much work with all mythical creatures. Some would probably consider my practice more of like a mythical witch, but I definitely identify as a draconic witch, with the dragons being my #1 homies. So just so you know. Question number 4 is, what path or tradition do you follow? I currently follow the draconic path, and it is a tradition that is really hard to find a good solid knowledge on because most of the practice was passed on by word of mouth or taught via a mentorship or something of the like. So most of my practice has come from books that I have found, videos that I have found, and trial and error in my own practice. So that's pretty much it. I pretty much follow the draconic path, and that's what it does. The next question is, your craft devotional or secular, and how do you incorporate your faith into your craft if you do? I don't really work or worship with anything per se. I do work with gods and goddesses occasionally, very occasionally though. I mainly work with dragons and mythical creatures, and I pretty much, it's kind of a devotional thing, but it's more so of a friendship than anything else. It's like a mutual beneficial relationship that I have between my guardians and myself, but it's really not anything more than that. I don't really have a faith per se. All I really have faith in is myself at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, if I don't have my back, who's gonna have my back? So that's pretty much that. And I have faith in dragons, obviously, and in the mythical creatures that I work with, but I rarely work with gods and goddesses, and those that I do, like I said, I don't really communicate with often. So question number 6 is, are you a closeted witch or in the open? If so, how do your friends and family feel about your path? I am very in the open. Hello, hi, YouTube channel. So most of my family actually discovered I was a witch via my YouTube channel. That's kind of an awkward turtle. They're pretty supportive of it for the most part. I know that some of them get a little weird about it. I have some very Catholic family members, and I have some very Mormon family members, and we haven't ever really had like an outright discussion about it, but everybody knows I'm kind of like not religious. Everyone in my family knows that I do like a spirituality lifestyle type thing on YouTube, and those who bother to look it up, well, that's how they find out I'm a witch. And other than that, it's pretty cool, but like my friends are totally supportive. Most of my friends ask me questions about it, and I even have taught them things too. So they've been very supportive and into the craft. So question number 7 is, are you solitary or are you in a coven? Currently, I'm a solitary practitioner above most things, though I am transitioning slowly into more of a group practice in the Hatchling clan on the Hatchling clan amino. That's kind of my coven right now, but it's a little bit different because it's not like done as a coven, though I do want to start a coven within my lifetime and be the leader of a coven eventually. That is a huge goal in my witchy practice. I have joined a coven that is local with where I am. I don't go regularly, unfortunately, due to how far they are and things like that, but it's an open circle type coven, so there's no like initiation, there's none of that, and you're not like required to do anything specific or worship anything specific. It's very much like a educational based, but I'm not like in like a hardcore coven that's like we do this shit and that's how it is. So there's that. Question number 8 is, what is something you wish someone had told you or something you wish you knew when you first started? So something that I wish I knew when I first started is just to believe in yourself. Like, it's really not much more than that. Like, you're gonna have those doubts, like, even when you're like an advanced practitioner. Like, I've been practicing for like 8-ish years and honestly 110% still question myself, and sometimes I still feel like, oh my god, are my guardians just a figment of my fucking imagination? But at the end of the day, you need to believe in you, because if you don't believe in you, no one else will, and including your guardians or anything you want to work with. You have to have faith in yourself, and that is what I wish I knew when I first started. Question number 9 is, what resource was the most valuable for your beginning practice? What about now? So the number one most valuable resource, hands down, is the internet. I personally always love using the internet because it's the way that I discovered witchcraft. I also discovered witchcraft through books too. My book collection is absolutely necessary. Most of the spells that I do have been related to things that I have found in my books, but for the most part, most of what I have learned has been online, and that's why I like to produce content online, because it's easy for people to access, even when they're not in a situation where they can like go to a library and find books on witchcraft, because sometimes they just aren't available. And even when you go to like bookstores or something, it's just not there. So that's why I feel like it's the best resource that I have. And within the last year, Amino has been the best resource that I've had. I've learned more on Amino working with everybody else than I have like in my entire freaking practice. Like, learned so much within a year, dude. It's crazy. So definitely the internet. Seriously, you got the internet, you're golden. So question number 10 is, what was your first spell and was it successful? My first spell was a spell to heal a broken heart for a family member, and it was not successful because it was out of my control. I wasn't supposed to like step in on her life lesson, you know what I mean? But that was the first spell I casted and it wasn't successful. However, my spells that I have done, mostly for myself, have been successful, but when you cast spells on people like that don't have their consent, I find that it's pretty much a hit or a miss. So question number 11 is, what do you do when you feel out of touch with your craft? When I feel out of touch with my craft, I always take it back to the basics. And sometimes it drives me crazy, you know, relearning things that I've learned like 500 times. But at the end of the day, it's those basics that are the fundamentals that really make the difference between you becoming a great practitioner as opposed to just a practitioner, I guess. And in my craft, I really want to be a high priestess. With my practice, I want to be a draconic priestess, and it's in my mind, it's like a huge goal, you know what I mean? Like, it's something that's like, oh my god, it's gonna take me so long to get there. At the end of the day, it's like when I doubt myself and my craft, I take it back to the basics and I just do the most basic of things. Like, learning the basics is always a great way to rebuild your foundation, especially if you've been kind of shook a little. Question number 12 is, have you ever doubted your faith or ability? Absolutely, all the time. Like, sometimes I'm like, am I really a witch? Like, am I really just fucking crazy? Like, am I really just that one chick on the internet who's out of her goddamn mind and she just doesn't know what she's talking about? I have those moments, guys, I really do. And at the end of the day, it's about, like I said, having faith in yourself and believing in yourself. And when you lose that faith, you need to put it back within yourself, because if you lose it forever and don't try and get it back, then that's just sad, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be sad. And it's a really important thing to make sure that you have faith in yourself, and when you lose it, to do your best to get back to get it back, because we all fall off the path sometimes, you know what I mean? It's inevitable. And don't hate on yourself for fucking up sometimes, because like that's how you learn, okay? Like don't fucking get mad, okay? But like just know that if you are screwing up, like if you haven't done your shit, just take a deep breath and start again. You can start over anytime you want to, and that's really important, especially when you've lost faith in yourself. Question number 13 is, what are some grounding techniques that you find work for you? So I find that grounding out in nature or just meditating in nature is the greatest way for me to feel like myself again. Meditation, like by a tree, is like literally one of the greatest things in the world. It's a little hard to come by naturey areas that are completely and totally secluded where I live, just because I live in a very populated city. Oh my god, I'm dying. That is the most important thing for me, is getting out in nature, and that's why I practice this faith, is because nature is at the fundamental of it. Like, it's revering nature and not worshiping nature, but honoring its existence, and being one with the earth is really important in my craft. So number 14 is, what is your biggest pet peeve in the magical community? My biggest pet peeve in the magical community by far is little different groups of witches fucking fighting each other, and like saying, oh, you're a disgrace to the community because you worship magical creatures or mythical creatures, oh my gosh, that's not real magic. Or some people will be like, yo, you're so traditional, learn how to grow a little. And it's just like, dude, like, we have so many fucking haters, like people who think that we're crazy ass hoes, that like we don't need to fight each other, okay? Like, fucking stop. Like, that's my biggest pet peeve, is just witches that are just like, grr, you're not doing it the right way, my way is the right way. And I'm just like, have we not learned anything? Have we not learned anything? Have we all decided that there's one way to practice magic? Because that's kind of the point. Everyone has their own way to practice magic. Anyway, I digress. Number 15 is, what is your biggest spell disaster? My biggest spell disaster also was my first spell. I thought it was a great idea to like roll up white computer printer paper as incense because I had none, and yeah, I set off the smoke alarm. My mom thought something was burning and she burst in here while I was casting, and yeah, she kind of saw all of it, all of the things, and it was just very awkward conversation, and that's pretty much that one. Don't use paper as incense. I'm pretty sure common sense, but apparently my 14-year-old little self did not think so. Question number 16 is, what is your view on black magic? My view on black magic is it doesn't fucking exist. And the reason why I say that is because magic itself is just magic. Like, it's neither dark nor light nor neutral. It just is. And it's up to the practitioner who makes it dark or light. It's up to the practitioner who uses it for good or bad. And in my practice, yes, I have done darker spells. I have done spells that would be considered black magic, but at the end of the day, it wasn't to hurt anyone, and it wasn't to do anything but protecting me and my family and my friends, and making sure that I was in a secure, safe space. And that's kind of like pretty much the bottom line. Like, it's pretty much up to the practitioner at the end of the day if they're going to be a force of positivity or a force of negativity within the world. So that's my view on black magic. Question number 17 is, witchcraft an everyday thing, or is it only for special occasions? Witchcraft is by all means every day. I try and infuse magic into every part of my day as much as I can, because it's about creating an experience for yourself, and I want to have a magical life. I live a magical lifestyle, and that's the point, because it's like, life without magic is just so dull to me, like, you know what I mean? And it just like, it's just like something's missing when magic isn't there. And so when I'm not practicing magic, or I'm not raising magical energy, or I'm not filling my life with magic, I become a very sad person, because literally magic is me. I am magic and magic is me. You know what I mean? So question number 18 is, do you meditate? Absolutely, although I haven't in a while, and I really probably should. But you know what? We all have our moments, and I'm only human, and I shouldn't hate on myself for missing to meditate a few times. So you know what? You know, the best thing you can do when you haven't meditated in a while is to just be like, ooh, I fucked up, so let's just like sit down and meditate. Cool. Okay, so yes, I do meditate. I do very many kinds of meditation, and I love doing it. Question number 19 is, do you practice divination? If so, what techniques? Yes, I do. I practice a lot of types of divination. My favorite is probably Oracle at this point in time. I also do tarot. I use pendulums. I use crystal ball gazing. I do fire scrying. I do all sorts of scrying. Like, here's my scrying mirror back here. I do runes. I do my own forms of divination, like something like sky scrying. or aromancy, which is like scrying with incense smoke or with like cannabis smoke. Literally endless. Like, I'm sure I'm missing like 5 different types of divination that I do, but I really love divination, and it's something that helps me connect with my guardians the easiest. Specifically Oracle and Tarot is like how I connect to my guardians on like the best, deepest level, and where I like get the most information from them, rather than just like meditating and talking to them. They usually come to me better through my cards. So number 20 is moon phases, planetary correspondences, day of the week, hour, irrelevant, or key. So moon phases definitely key. I try my best to cast my spells or do my rituals during the lunar phases as they would correspond. Planetary correspondences, absolutely. I try to do really special rituals and spell castings during very big celestial events. Day of the week, not so much. Days of the week don't really exist. They're just created. So we have like business days, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. And then hours, not really either, because again, time is a man-made concept in my mind. So something that isn't man-made is the moon and the lunar phases, and something that isn't man-made is the celestial stars in the heavens. So that's why they definitely relate to nature with me, because they just are, you know? Question number 22 is, do you keep a Book of Shadows or a Grimoire? Yes, I do. The one that you see right here is my Book of Shadows. This is like my main one. It's called Scalebound. I have a tutorial on how to make this book if you're interested. I also am working on a Unicorn Book of Shadows and a Draconic Book of Shadows specifically. This one isn't Draconic specifically. It's kind of like all my practices leading up to me becoming a Draconic Witch, so it has like stuff about Wicca in here, stuff about the Draconic Path, about fairy magic, about witchcraft, about spells. Like literally it's just like all the things, and like the sabbats and like the espits and stuff. So it's definitely like an all-in-one kind of thing, where my other books are just going to be geared towards like specific mythical creature practices, and I eventually want to have a book dedicated to each mythical creature that I work with. And I know that's kind of intense, but I definitely want to do that because I feel called to do it, you know what I mean? So anyway, definitely have a Book of Shadows. Question number 23 is, do you have an altar? Is it dedicated to any specific deity, season, or anything? No, I don't have an altar. It's not like it's right behind me or anything. Like, I don't have any, you know, I don't have like 5 because I have like 20. I'm just kidding. So this altar behind me is my Draconic altar. It's for my Draconic practices, for me working with Monte or Elemental Dragon Guardians or any other dragon deities that I work with. I have a Unicorn altar, which is over there. I'll do more in depth about unicorn magic in the future, and then I have some other altars like a crystal altar and a water altar, and I hope to have many more altars in the future, especially for all the elements and things like that, just because it's a great way for me to have a physical representation of what I work with and spiritually believe in, and also it helps bring in those vibes and creates the atmosphere that I want to raise magical energy. I kind of think of everything as an altar. Like my room is an altar to me. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of a mess right now, but like, yeah, I want to make it to where it's like literally like pristine condition, because I want to keep myself in pristine condition, if that makes sense. Question number 24 is thoughts on the afterlife. Well, in the afterlife, I definitely believe that it's not really something that like we hear about in Christianity. Like, I don't think we go to heaven, you know. When I was a Wiccan, I believed in Summerland, but now I really don't anymore. I just kind of feel like it's not tangible. And like, if you believe in Summerland, like, please believe in Summerland. Like, don't let me kill your belief. I'm just sharing my opinion and perspective. Personally, I don't believe death is the end. I believe death is merely an illusion, is probably the greatest illusion of all besides the illusion of separation. And when we die, we don't cease to exist. We ascend from this plane to the stars. That's just kind of what I believe. And I have more theories on what I will do when I die as Dragonkin. Specifically, if you're interested in learning about my theories about Dragonkin and the afterlife, leave a like on the video and I'll make a video. Question number 25 is, would you teach and practice witchcraft to your children? Absolutely. I will definitely be passing my Book of Shadows to my kids. I'm hoping that at least one of my kids will want to learn how to practice magic so we can start a tradition within the family, because I just wish I was born into a magical family and had parents that like taught me witchcraft, because I'm entirely self-taught. There's one family member I have that I think is a witch, but I'm not sure. but we definitely never talked about it, nor have we ever like casted together or crafted together. But I definitely want to teach it to my kids, and I'm not gonna like force it on them because I think that's like fucked up, but like I definitely want to teach it to them, and I'm hoping that one of them will be open to learning just because it's such a powerful practice. Number 26 is, do you have a totem animal? If so, what is it? So there's kind of a difference between totem power and spirit animals. I'm not really gonna get into the difference between them here. Totem animal, not really, I don't have one, but I have two spirit animals. I have the orca as one of my spirit animals, which I also have an altar for, and I have the hummingbird as my other spirit animal. And the hummingbird has been like really prevalent in my life recently because literally like every year we have hummingbirds nest in my garden, and I have like hummingbird feathers, and I like just feel so connected to the hummingbird, and they're such a unique bird, and they're like different from any other freaking bird, and I'm just in love. So they're amazing, and I want them everywhere all the time. Question number 27 are, what are some witch books that have influenced you? Well, the biggest one that probably influenced me when I was young is Wicca for Beginners by Thea Sabin. I also really love Scott Cunningham's books, and pretty much anything written by DJ Conway is like my jam sauce. Those have been the most influential texts in my personal practice. I also really love the Wicca Year in a Day by Timothy Roderick. That's a really good one. I also like The Book of Shadows by Silver Ravenwolf. It's like the Book of Shadows for the modern day solitary practitioner. I don't remember the entire title, but those are hands down my favorite, and ones that I reference quite frequently even still today. And I have so many freaking witchy books, I don't really know what to do with myself sometimes, so I am always checking these books. And there's this other book that I have called Witches. I forgot the name of the author, but I made a video about it, about a self-dedication ritual that I found in there. And it's kind of a really influential ritual in my life, and it's quite an old book too, so all those books are pretty much really, really powerful in my practice. Question number 28 is, tools handmade only, natural materials only? I only need my will, anything works if I want to use it. So most of my tools I try to hand make because that way I can infuse my intentions with them, like my cauldron I made, my Book of Shadows I made, I've made my wands. I've made so many things, and like I have like too many rune sets that I've made, but like I love to make my own tools because it allows me to infuse my intention and my magical energy into them. Although I'm not opposed to using like handmade tools, like the wand that you see right here. Oh, I can't do it. Right here, this like thing that's on the wall. That's my wand that I got from the Harry Potter fucking thing at Universal Studios, and I use it too, and it feels great in my hand, and it works, and it's kind of funny because it's like a Harry Potter wand, but I use it, you know, and I like, my chalice isn't handmade, my chalice is like a glass, you know, and also at the same time, I'm perfectly comfortable without casting, without any materials. I think that your intention and your will is the most important, and as long as you have that, it doesn't matter what you use, you'll be successful, and that has been true in my practice as well. So question number 29 is, do you have a magical name? Yes, I do. My magical name is Azura DragonFaether, and when I created my YouTube channel, I called myself DragonFeather, and you know, your magical name kind of evolves as you grow, at least so it does with me. Some people might just keep the same name the entire time, but my spelling is Azura, and then dragon, Dragon, and then feather is pronounced feather, but spelled Faetagr. And when I created my YouTube channel, I just spelled it as feather, and it's frustrating because YouTube won't let me change, and it's like, ugh, but you don't understand, like change is like inevitable and like a part of my life, and I like need to change, you know what I mean? But YouTube is like, no, once you pick your name, you're done, that's who you are, forever. But no, I'm always changing, and I wouldn't be surprised if my name changes in the future, but as of now, I really don't see it changing, and I also have a magical name that I'll never share with anyone, so there's that. It came to me in a meditation from my dragon guardians, and yeah, there's that. So if you guys want to hear like more of in-depth on like my public magical name, Azura DragonFaether, I'd love to make a video about it and how it's kind of evolved over the years. And yeah, I'm more than happy to do that. And last question is, favorite season, herb, crystal, rune, tarot card, symbol, sigil. Okay, so my favorite season is fall, hands down, because hello, Halloween and Samhain are my freaking life. My favorite herb is cannabis. Duh! It's the first herb that I really had a connection with, and the herb that kind of like really opened my eyes to working with herbs in general. My favorite crystal is obviously azurite. I have like so much azurite, and azurite has like been literally such an influential part of my practice, and I would not be who I am today without coming into contact with stone azurite. It's kind of fucking crazy. And then my favorite rune, I don't know. I don't really work with runes that much, although I probably would say that my favorite rune, although I don't know its like actual name, it's it looks like a letter B, and yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but it's for like motherly stuff and like the house and the home, and that's really important in my practice. And then my favorite tarot card is the Magician. I resonate with the Magician hands down. Like, it speaks to my soul, guys. Speaks to me. And then symbol and sigil. My favorite symbol would probably be the pentacle. And I'm sure that's like super cliche, but I also like the triple goddess. That's another symbol that I'm really in tune with, and the spiral and the triquetra. But those are like really, really powerful for me. And then sacred geometry wise, the flower of life is really important in my practice, as well as the Metatron's cube. Excuse me. And I don't really work with sigils, though I'm trying to. I'm working on designing a sigil for one of my first tattoos. But yeah, I'm very unfamiliar with working with sigils. But anyway, that is about it for this video. If you guys are interested in doing this tag, I will leave the link to all the questions down below. A special thank you to Ashley Adulting / Ashley Michelle for tagging me in this. I really appreciate it. And just to remind everybody, the people who I tagged to do this are Akasha Wolf, Harmony Nice, and Jenna from the White Witch Parlour, as well as all of you hatchlings. And I hope to see your guys' videos. If you do make a video, please leave a link down in the comment section below, or make a post about it in the Hatchling clan, which I'll also link down below if you wish to join us. I will also be posting this there and have a little bit more in-depth information on things I did not cover in this video for this tag. And yeah, I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. But until next time, stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky, and don't forget that I love you, okay? I love you so much, and thank you so much for supporting me. And holy shit, the channel almost has 50,000 subscribers. Do you know how mind-boggling that is? That's like actually crazy. Like, when I started my channel, I didn't really think that I would get this far, but like once I started like actually getting like a decent amount of subscribers, I'm like, wouldn't it be crazy if I got like 100,000 subscribers? And now we're like freaking halfway there, and I'm just like, holy crap, what is life? So thank you guys for all of your support. Literally, it means the world to me, and I can't even believe that you guys have like given me this gift, given me this platform, this voice to share magic with you guys. And oh, I'm not gonna cry. I told myself I wouldn't cry. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys endlessly. But until next time, stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky. Okay? You gotta stay freaky with hatchlings. Alright. You got that? Cool. Okay. Blessed be and bye.
It's funny that you think that I'm different when we're both made of what